Hi, Thrifty Vicky. Welcome to my channel. If you like what you see today, please subscribe. And of course, if you comment or have any suggestions, I'll always get back to you. Today I'm making a really special dish, and this recipe is from my mother-in-law's mom. So when my mother-in-law Jolene was first married, and her mom was at the dentist with her sister Nina, and while she was waiting for Nina to get a cleaning, she wrote this recipe in a little card and mailed it to Jolene, and Jolene made it, and now the family's been making it ever since. So we call it Hunter's Chicken. And I am really honored to present this to you because if this month is my in-laws anniversary. So it's just kind of like a win-win for all of us. Yay, happy anniversary, you guys. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna first start by turning the burner on to medium, between medium, high, depending on how hot your burner runs. And then I'm gonna saute onion, celery, peppers, and garlic. So it's already sounding amazing. And I was gonna chop some of this ahead of time, but I wanted to show you, because you guys probably know my secret of celery, but I'm gonna split, this is a big one, I'm gonna split it in half. And then I'm gonna keep this together. And I am going to easily chop celery. This takes no time whatsoever. And we're doing about half a cup of each. Now the thing with celery is if you get some of the leaves, you know sometimes there's leaves on the inside of the celery. Oh my gosh, it's not gonna hurt you, just use it. Really good. So I've got my celery, I've got my peppers, and now my onion. And I know that's more than half a cup and I don't care because I love this flavor combination. Okay, remember the trick with onions, go right down the root, cut the one end off, keep your root end on, take the big, not just the skin, but that first layer of onion. Remember, onions are not expensive. Don't waste your time trying to peel that little skin off, it'll take forever. See how fast that was? So I still have the root on. By keeping the root on, it helps you not tear up as much, which is really important because I cry when it comes to onions, and this has been a game changer for me. Okay. Woo, here we go. Now that that root is off. Okay, so that's half a cup of each or more. Get this out of the way. Ooh, that is making me cry today. Okay. It'd be a lot worse if I had that root on earlier. And if we get this one out of the way too. Okay. Oh, woo-hoo-hoo. That was a tough one. Okay, now for the garlic, I'm just gonna cut the little end off. And I already cut my peppers because I used them for a recipe yesterday. So remember, turn this rice down, I can hear it. Turn it to simmer. I am trying really hard not to cry right now, but my tears are starting to pour down. It usually works really great. This is so sad. Ooh, okay. I need 1 minute to clean up my eyes. I'll be right back. Oh my gosh. Be right back. Okay, welcome back. I'm better. Sorry about that. My eyes were just tearing like crazy. Okay, I've got some olive oil. I'm gonna go ahead and saute my peppers, my onions, and my celery together. This pan was pretty hot, so it should be ready. I always kind of test it though. Yeah, it's ready. So there's the onion, celery, and the peppers. And the peppers are just red pepper or yellow or whatever you have. You can even use green, but I prefer the red, yellow, or orange over the green for this recipe. Okay, and I'm just gonna wait for a little bit till I put the garlic in because garlic cooks really fast and it could burn it. So just wait on your garlic. Okay, I have some extra tomatoes. They're very sweet tomatoes and I don't want them to go to waste. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut these up and put them in the recipe as well. It doesn't call for it, but I think it's gonna add a lot of flavor. With tomatoes, you want to use a serrated knife so you don't hurt yourself. And I'm just going to cut these in half. I'm a big fan of cooked tomatoes, so I'm always putting it in recipes. Okay, so I'm gonna get everything else ready while this is sauteing. So it calls for 1 can of tomatoes. I like the fire roasted tomatoes. You can just do regular tomatoes, but this is one of my favorites. It just has a texture and a flavor that I love. So I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna keep the juice with this and put the juice in with all the, when it's ready. 1 can, this is fire roasted, 1 can of tomatoes. You want 3/4 cup of ketchup. Add a little salt to this. All right, so I've got my tomatoes, I've got my 3/4 cup of ketchup. We're gonna do 1/2 cup of wine. And I found this at the grocery store. What a great idea for cooking. It was $2 or $3, I can't remember. But I don't waste a whole bottle of wine if I'm not, well, who wastes a bottle of wine? But a lot of times I use cheaper wine for cooking. So anyway, I found this and I think it's really exciting. So I'm gonna measure out 1/2 cup. There's 1/2 cup. So it's just a teeny bit left. I might just throw all that in there. And it calls for about a teaspoon of oregano. And y'all by now, if you've been watching my show, I'm gonna use Doterra. This is oregano, I'm gonna use 1 drop. Okay, so as soon as this is done sauteing, I'm gonna add the rest of our ingredients. It sounds silly, but ketchup is a really magical ingredient in this recipe. And you'll see why when you taste it. But look, this is so easy and it's healthy. It's gonna make quite a bit. And my mother-in-law boils her chicken. She takes a whole chicken and boils it and then peels all the chicken off. I did a rotisserie chicken and either way is fine. Sometimes rotisserie chickens can get a little rubbery, but for when I'm in a hurry, another trick. When you get your rotisserie chicken home and it's warm, it's the best time to take the chicken off of it. It's so easy. So go ahead and do it then, put it aside like I did in a bowl. And you don't want the skin on it. And I use a whole rotisserie chicken for this recipe. Although I noticed that both my kids are home from college, that some of the chicken is missing. They've been into the pantry, into the refrigerator as well, stealing my food. Actually, they can take whatever they want, it's fine. But sometimes I'm like, oh, I really needed that. Dish. The rice is almost done. Once I get this all put together, then we're gonna let it simmer for about 20 minutes. At the very end, I'm gonna put in the chicken. I'm gonna taste it. And then if it tastes like a little bland or whatever, which it shouldn't, but if it does, or if I want a little bit more of a kick, I'll add the hot sauce. Okay. Yeah, I actually think it's ready. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and add my garlic. Let that saute with everything. So we're ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my wine. Kind of deglazing all that flavor, which is really exciting. Can of tomatoes. Ketchup. Ooh, this smells good. My 1 drop of oregano. Again, if you're doing fresh, just do like a teaspoon. Maybe a little bit less than that. Just depends on how much flavor you want in there. I'm gonna add my tomatoes. Bonus tomatoes. Okay, and then I'm gonna cover this and let it simmer for about 25 minutes. And then we'll add the chicken and the hot sauce if it's needed. And then that's it. We'll put it over the rice, and then you have the most beautiful recipe. Okay, welcome back. Woo! Got a little boily there. Okay, I'm gonna turn this down even a little bit more. And I'm gonna go ahead and add my chicken. It smells, it looks good. The sauce did simmer down quite a bit, so if you need to add a little bit more, you can. I think it looks pretty good, but I'll know once I put the chicken in. This is the rotisserie chicken. I'm just gonna add that to it. Add a little bit more liquid too. Oh wow, that's really good. I'm just gonna add maybe a little bit, not a lot. Plus your guests can always add, or your family or your partner or whatever can add a little bit. Let's see. the rest of my wine. Otherwise, I'll just drink it. Okay, and then we're gonna simmer that for about 5 minutes. And we're ready to go. Our rice is ready. Our Hunter's chicken is ready. You could also, if you wanted to, sneak a little bit of spinach in this to add a little bit of greens, but I'm just gonna keep it the way it is because it's a family tradition. But look at that, isn't that beautiful? And yeah, so about 5 minutes and then we'll be ready to try it. Okay, here comes the grand finale. It's been about 5 minutes and everything's looking really good. I'm gonna chop up a little bit of fresh parsley. This is from my herb garden. And I really, really love parsley on just about everything. And it's packed with nutrients, so zoom in. Okay, oh, that smells so good. Okay. All right, let's open up our rice. That was amazing. Get a spoon. Look at that. That looks amazing. Okay, let's try it. Okay, you ready? Here we go. That is delicious. Oh my gosh, that's so good. Happy anniversary, Jolyn and Mike. Thank you, Grandma Kate, for this recipe. We miss you, and thanks for coming to my channel. If you like what you see, please press like, subscribe, comment. If you comment, I'll always get back to you. And enjoy this really healthy family secret recipe of ours, and I hope you enjoy it. Okay, for the rice part of this dish, I really, really love this brand. I'm gonna double the recipe. I've already got 4 cups of water. I'm gonna bring it to a boil, and then I'm gonna add anywhere from 2 to 4 tablespoons of butter or olive oil. And I do recommend adding that at the end. If you want to do clarified butter, just do a little bit less. Clarified butter has a higher fat content, but they take the milk solids out of it. So for the dairy-free folks out there, ghee is a really wonderful option. There's also a ghee oil, so I might even use that. I think I'll do that. That's a good idea. That gives you the oil and the ghee. Definitely doing that. So, in fact, when you're cooking, if you cook with ghee, then you do have that higher flash point, which is, butter can burn really quickly. So just keep that in mind. Okay, it's getting ready to boil. Once it does that, we'll put the rice in, and then we'll keep going. The water is boiling, so we're ready. I'm gonna go ahead and put my rice in, but before I do that, I'm gonna use this ghee oil. So I'm just gonna put a little bit of ghee oil in. Perfect. Okay, so while that is cooking, then we're gonna go ahead and start the Hunter's chicken. Okay, here we go.